Hey guys, I got a new unboxing and first impressions video of a new camera today. This is the VWTECH Full HD 1080p SportDV. So, this company makes a lot of cell phone cases. They're a Chinese company. And they started making cameras. This hole right here, I think, is usually where a camera would go if you get their spy camera. It's like the 808 keychain cameras, so it looks like a car key fob, but this one is just a square model, so it'll make a better dash cam. But I think this is the same box that you would get if you ordered the car key fob. So it comes with a little CD here. So, looks like a burnable CD? I'm not totally sure right now. So then we got a little video out cable, and I'm pretty sure this uses the same proprietary cable that, sorry about that, that the INAV C2 uses, or all the INAV cameras, I should say. Here's a charging cable, a little holder for the camera, and the actual camera. Okay. And first glance, everyone's going to think it looks just like a Mobius or an INAV camera. You can see there pretty much the same button layout as both of those other cameras. Power button, mode, and the shutter. I'll actually compare it with the Mobius right now. So it is quite a bit bigger. I think that's mostly because of the body though. So they pretty much just flipped the buttons around. But I think the INAV actually has the buttons in the same place. And this camera might actually use the INAV camera's board and chipset. I was under the impression that INAV actually lets them use their board and chipset, but it doesn't have the switch to go between normal and looped recording. So there's also no light like the INAV. So it definitely has less features than the INAV cameras. So VWTECH was kind enough to send me this for review. They reached out for reviewers on dashcamtalk.com, and I had linked their representative to my channel. So they reached out to me and decided to send me a unit for review. They were kind enough to also send me a big bag of accessories. Probably could have told them I already have a lot of this stuff, but everything is pretty much the same as the Mobius accessory pack. They all seem the same, like this, this, but this is definitely different. It's some sort of helmet cam with a Velcro strap. And also they included the long dash cam cable, so this will come in handy. I believe I still have my other one from the INAV, including the L cable that Rock from INAV sent me. Unfortunately, my camera had issues before I could use that, so might be able to use that on this camera. So I was about to say that the camera didn't actually come with instructions, and then I realized that CD is probably what has the instructions. So I did put that into my desktop computer, and it does have instructions and the files for the firmware. So I'll show that in a little bit. So I'm going to put in a memory card. So the controls on this are actually a little different than the Mobius and the off. So when you turn it on, you do have to hold it for a few seconds. And then by default it turns on to standby. Now the difference between this and those other two cameras is that the mode switches between 3 video modes instead of 2 video modes and 1 photo mode. So it has 1080p 30, 720p 60, 720p 30. So to take photos, you actually just hit the shutter button once briefly. And that is the bottom button. So if you tap it once, it takes a photo. Now the sort of confusing part after I read the instructions is that to record video, you hold it for a few seconds, then let go. So that's definitely a little different than the other cameras, but this way you can actually get to 720 60 or 720p 30 easier, but personally I don't think that is even that useful anyways. If you're going to use it as a dash camera, you're going to want to use 1080p, that way you capture more detail.
So now I'm going to go ahead and show some footage from the camera. This first one is just some rural highway with oncoming cars coming pretty fast. It gives you a good idea of how it handles fast motion. All of the clips are going to be 1 minute long because for some reason my video editing software won't actually let me cut down AVI files. So you'll just have to bear with me, or you can skip ahead if you don't want to just watch 1 minute long videos. Here's a clip with the sun shining somewhat directly into the camera, and I am going with traffic on an interstate, so you can see, you can actually read license plates in some of these clips when you pause it. This camera seems to handle lower speeds in city traffic quite well. The quality is pretty comparable to the Mobius or the Inav. I don't know what the bitrate is though, because for whatever reason Windows says it's about 2.5 megabits per second, but that's definitely not what it is, and it's just some issue with Windows not reading the AVI files correctly. Here's a night clip of driving on the same road as that last clip. I wanted to point out that for some reason the time got restarted. I did set the time last night and it was working just fine. I changed the looped recording to only 1 minute, and for whatever reason it set the time back, and I didn't adjust the time, so I don't know why it did that. But on my first impressions, the night video seems to be decent. It's pretty comparable to any other camera around $100. So after using this camera for a couple days now, it sort of seems like a budget Mobius or a budget Inav camera. That's not necessarily a bad thing either though, as it is cheaper, but most importantly, it is functional. The video quality seems to be decent enough. As usual, I'm going to give it about 4 weeks of use before I actually give my full review, so look out for that. If you like this video or my other videos, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.